Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to the Naperville Park District Board of Commissioners regular meeting, May 12th, 2016. Time is 5:30. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jackie, would you call the roll, please?
President Riley.
Here.
Vice President Janner, absent. Commissioner Egan, absent. Commissioner Ensign.
Here.
Commissioner Heidi.
Here.
Commissioner Todd.
Here.
Commissioner Young.
Here.
Thank you. Next, we have awards and recognition.
President Riley, I move to approve Resolution 1604 to recognize and honor Marge Worley Walsh for her history-making service and her place in the history of Naperville and the history of Centennial Beach.
Second.
We have motion and a second. Any discussion? None? Not hearing any. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Well, tonight we have the pleasure of honoring a longtime friend of the Naperville Park District, played a special role in the history of Centennial Beach. So at this time, I'd like to invite Marge Worley Walsh and her family to please join me at the podium.
Cousins, aunts, uncles, what do you want?
Anybody who wants to come up? I figured I might as well say it. You're all going to come up anyway. So.
That's right.
We're really shy.
You know us too well. We're very shy.
It really is an honor this evening to honor Marge, the first female lifeguard at Centennial Beach. And in her honor, we have the following resolution that was just approved, as you heard. Whereas in 1942, when our nation was embroiled in the historic conflict that was World War II, Marge Worley Walsh made some history of her own. And whereas, as American men were being deployed to fight for their country, Marge took up the mantle of leadership at home and made history by qualifying as the first ever female lifeguard at Centennial Beach. And whereas, at the time Marge Worley Walsh became a lifeguard, it was highly uncommon for women to serve as a lifeguard. And whereas Marge became Naperville's own Rosie the Riveter with her can-do spirit, filling a role formerly dominated by men. And whereas Marge the lifeguard was a hard-working member of the Centennial Beach team until 1945, which is the same year that World War II concluded. And whereas, just as our nation came to appreciate the strength and dedication of its women, so too Naperville came to appreciate the strength and dedication of women in its community, women like Marge. And whereas Marge demonstrated that women could fill an important and physically challenging role while earning respect for their hard work and determination. And whereas Marge was among the women that paved the way for many future generations of women in the workforce, and not only at Centennial Beach in Naperville, but everywhere. And whereas, on this extraordinary occasion of Marge Worley Walsh's 95th birthday, the Board of Commissioners of the Naperville Park District, together with the entire Naperville community, desire to honor Marge Worley Walsh for her hard work, dedication, and everlasting contribution. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Naperville Park District as follows. Marge Worley Walsh is hereby recognized and honored for her history-making service and her place in the history of Naperville and the history of Centennial Beach. Be it further resolved that the name of Marge Worley Walsh shall hereinafter be permanently inscribed at Centennial Beach in a manner befitting her service. Approved this 12th day of May 2016, and Michael Riley, President. Congratulations. Can you hold this for her?
Nice.
This is your own chair. Have that so you don't drop it. For you only.
Sit in and see
Go
how
ahead,
it
sit
fits.
down, see how it feels. It's in lifeguard colors.
Now, as she takes her place of honor, we should point out that, like Marge, this is a chair that has provided many years of service at Centennial Beach.
That's good.
Now, Marge, we certainly don't wish to embarrass you, but you have to have a few words to say.
Oh, well, I'm certainly surprised to see all my friends and relatives here. I've had a busy day. We had interview down at the beach, which looks gorgeous right now, but water looks awful dang cold. No, thanks for all the hoopla that this is going through. I never even thought of that years ago. I needed a job, and that's what I did. Thanks. Oh, man, red and white.
Red and white, how about that?
Awesome.
They guaranteed that was going to be at the beach for you to sit in when you get there, any day that you come.
Nobody better stand it.
Anybody gets in it, got her from us.
Oh, look at that.
That's your chair.
All right.
Now you can call anybody out of it.
There'll be nobody, it'll be put away. We'll bring it out every day. We'll bring it out every day.
No, we're all gonna do that.
Oh, that's something else.
All right, let's let these folks get back to their business, you know what I mean? Thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
Yep,
Thank you, sir.
absolutely. You're welcome.
All right.
Now we're out of here.
You all good, Craig?
Yeah, really. When is she gonna make the Fox News? 9 o'clock. You have to be home by 9 o'clock.
All good?
That really was a great opportunity to recognize somebody that's meant a lot to the Naperville Park District, so thank you all. Next item we have is matters from the public. Jackie, do we have anyone signed up to speak? Now we have updates and reports. First is the Riverwalk Commission update. Commissioner Heidi.
Thank you, President Riley. The Commission met yesterday, and the dominant topic of conversation continues to be the Water Street project. By all accounts, the project is progressing exceptionally well, and all constituent parties are pleased. The Riverwalk Commission's annual Asset Management Plan walk was conducted on April 26th. This is an assessment of the condition of the major capital assets that are integral to the Riverwalk. Although numerous minor maintenance items were identified, as can be expected after a long winter, no major repairs are currently needed. Moser Tower, however, is another story, as significant repairs will be required in the near future. A plan is being devised as to how best to tackle the funding and the actual work. On the public relations side, the Riverwalk was awarded TripAdvisor's Certificate of Excellence. It was also identified as the #1 attraction in Naperville. Finally, we are optimistic, based on news from Springfield, that the funding for 430 South Washington will reappear within the next several years. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have the Finance Committee update. Commissioner Young.
Thank you, President Riley. The Finance Committee met on May 4th. We reviewed the IMRF rates. The 2017 district rate is expected to decrease by 6.6%. The rate for 2016 was 9.98%. For 2017, the rate will be 9.32%. This amounts to an estimated savings of about $50,000 to the district. To put those rates in context, the district's highest rate was 11.22% in 2013, and its lowest rate was 8.72% in 2008. It's interesting that the district's rate is on average about 1% lower than the employer rate for IMRF. This results from our demographics and our fair and reasonable practices and policies to manage benefits with an understanding of the impact on our IMRF obligations, such as limiting vacation accrual, not paying out on sick time, and not engaging in pension spiking. We also discussed the 2016 EAV. The EAV increased on existing properties by 3.4%. If we include new properties and annexations, the total increase is 4.65%. With an increase in EAV, the tax rate will decrease. The tax rate will adjust to 0.3317, down from 0.3397. And that's it.
Thank you. Next, we'll have the Parks and Recreation Committee update from Commissioner Todd.
The Parks and Recreation Committee met on April 15th. We reviewed the program benefits policy. It was also updated to reflect the food and beverage benefit for full-time employees. The Nature Center now has a scavenger hunt application that visitors can utilize when they visit. We talked about the two main capital projects that are in progress, namely the Fort Hill Activity Center and the Riverwalk Cafe. Both projects are progressing on schedule. Golf was just starting when we met, and the season reserve tee times have started, and also many of our leagues have now started. April 27th was the 25th anniversary of the opening of Naperville. Fees were set at the 1991 levels for that day. Parks is starting their spring preparations. You'll see them out there mowing and trimming. And our next meeting is May 20th.
Thank you. My report tonight will be very brief, as we have the Naperville Intergovernmental Dinner this evening, hosted by School District 203. So I want to share some information that will be in my presentation there tonight. And the following, I think, shows the outstanding support the Naperville Park District gets from various groups of people. First, our professional staff. 50% of the Park District current staff has been with this district alone for 10 years or longer. That speaks to commitment to our community, job knowledge, and good management. The next group is our volunteer staff. In 2015, over 2,700 individuals volunteered more than 94,000 hours to make our program successful. From a retention standpoint, 2/3 of these folks have volunteered at the district for 3 years or more. The efforts of our volunteers help make our offerings great, as well as providing an avenue for personal fulfillment and self-satisfaction for the volunteers themselves. Next item on our agenda is approval of the treasurer's report.
Move to approve the March 2016 Treasurers Report.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please, Jackie.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Todd,
Yes.
Commissioner Egan absent, Commissioner Ensign,
Yes.
Commissioner Heidi,
Yes.
President Riley.
Yes. Next, we have the consent agenda. Are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda?
Move to accept consent agenda items A through L.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Jackie, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Commissioner Todd,
Yes.
Commissioner Egan absent, Commissioner Ensign,
Yes.
Commissioner Heidi,
Yes.
Vice President Janner absent, President Riley.
Yes.
Move to approve consent agenda items as accepted.
Second.
Motion is second. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We have no unfinished business. So next item is future meetings. We'll have a regular meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners May 26, 2016. That will be at 6:30 p.m. in the Administration Building in the boardroom on South Jackson. And then regular meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners June 9th, 2016 at 7 p.m. here in City Council Chambers. June 23rd, 2016 at 6:30 p.m. at the South Maintenance Facility.
Move to adjourn the May 12, 2016 regular meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all.